Welcome to Emily's Garden, come on out today. Welcome to Emily's Garden, just a snap away. In this place, life is celebrated. It's the place where dreams are cultivated. Welcome to Emily's Garden, just a snap away.
My name is Emily. Welcome to my garden. It's the place where dreams are cultivated. I had a lifelong dream come true this spring. Join me at a local sheep farm, local that is in Kiltella, Athenry, in the county of Galway in Ireland.
Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full.
He's doing nicely now.
So this is basically the nursery.
That's it now, and this is the private quarters there now. Each one has their own apartment here. It's private. And out here now, that's semi-private out there. I have 13 private apartments here. When they deliver, they're brought down to the private rooms. If they have two lambs, they're brought into a private room, private apartment to themselves. But if they have only one lamb, they're left there.
If they're going to have multiple births, you separate them.
Yeah, some of them will. If they're multiple, we put them down in the single apartment in their own apartment. And the water's laid on for them. The water is piped. And along each side there, and the automatic. You see the head and drink away. See them along here, now we give them nuts and silage. They come along there.
The markings on the back in blue, what is that for?
Well, I'll tell you what the markings in blue is for. In the autumn, when they're out with the ram, you put blue on the ram's chest to know that he has performed.
So they'll become pregnant, you know.
We'll go up to the other shed now.
Okay.
Hey, do you want to come out here?
Sure.
We'll show you the turf that we use for fuel. You see it inside the shed.
The peat. Peat is used for cooking and domestic heating. In 1934, the Republic of Ireland set up the Turf Development Board and bought land under compulsory purchase orders to cut turf commercially for large-scale domestic and industrial peat usage. The Irish government owns most of the bogs in Ireland today, and anyone in the surrounding areas of a bog that owns property is given a bank. A peat bank, that is. This allows the landowner the option of cutting their own turf. Oh, they're so pretty.
Angus cross. Angus.
What kind of hay do you use?
Silage now, it's nearly the same as hay. This is just like, it's the same as grass.
It's the same as grass.
It's the same as grass that grows up and it grows into hay and it grows up for about 6 or 7 or 8 weeks.
By definition, silage is any crop harvested while green and kept succulent by partial fermentation in a silo. This process is called silaging. Silage is a fermented, high-moisture fodder that can be fed to cud-chewing animals like cattle and sheep and can be made from many field crops, but is usually made from grass crops using the entire green plant, not just the grain.
You give it out to it. This is along here.
Do you grow it here
Oh,
and
yeah.
cut it down?
It goes down the field.
You have a baler and it does...
Baler, yeah.
Yeah. What time of year do you do that generally? The fall?
In the month of the end of May and June.
May and June.
Yeah, well, the end of May and June and July, maybe onto July. All depends.
Mobile balers, machines which gather and bale hay in one process, were first developed around 1940. The first balers produced rectangular bales small enough for a person to lift. Round bales typically weigh 700 to 900 pounds. For animals that eat silage, a bale wrapper may be used to seal a round bale completely and trigger the fermentation process. It is a technique used as a money-saving process by producers who do not have access to a silo and for producing silage that is transported to other locations. Round bale silage is also sometimes called haylage and is seen more commonly in Europe than in the United States or Australia. Get another, I can help you. Get another, I can help you.
Well.
I'm a good farmhand.
Right, now we can go away now and see if there's any more lambs to do. Sometimes you see the lambs and they'll go in the field. You see there where the little things, the lambs can eat out of the, you see the green?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see them and they start racing. See them at a distance. The sheep are very giddy because they're only 3 days out now. They were 3 months in the stables, so they're not used to being out yet. That's why they're doing all the screeching. Charge, 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 charge. Charge, 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 charge. Some of those lambs now were born slightly after Christmas. Choo, 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 choo.
What are you saying to them?
Choo, 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 choo.
A lingo for calling sheep.
Yeah, it's kind of a choo, 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 choo. I don't know what. It's the way they always call them that. And they come to a long distance, they'll be watching the feed. And that's the way they are.
I like you, Frank.
Huh?
I like you. You crack me up. I feel like I should have a staff,
Pardon?
a shepherd staff.
Oh yes, we'll go up this way. See all those trees here? My father and myself one time we brought those from when they were little plants from the railway station there when they were planting that in the 1950s, the horse and cart. The summertime now you see you'd have the ash trees on the wall and they'd be all lovely green leaves.
You own all of this?
Yeah,
Wow. Is that a stone cottage in the back?
I was born on that. I was born there.
Oh, we gotta go see that. That's special. Wow. You have a good life.
Pretty fresh air. I built some of those walls now. I built all that wall, a new wall. Well, some of those walls was there a long time, but when you see the nice stone that was in this house now, but lovely stone. And
So was this the original house on the land?
1860 up to 1890. A lot of people left here. There was 11 born in that house, and at least 4 went to America. So my father got married, that's where he was living there. Johnny, Vincent, Stephen, Desmond, and myself, that's 3. 6 of us that was born there.
6. And you ended up 11, but at another house.
Yes. Our great-grandmother was born here, and our great-grandfather was born 15 miles away near Rathenroy.
How beautiful is that, though?
I was 2 years of age. I was able to walk down there when the homestead was there. You see that?
A little boy who lives down the lane.
You want your photo taken here?
This here was on a 19th century farm, but they just advanced into the 21st century. See the power grid system just went in.
Oh, I see in
See
the
that?
background.
21st century just came into the farm.
Oh, 203.
This is the back side of the house.
That's the back of it, yeah. At one stage now there was another room just back of it. There was a room there with a slated roof which was taken off it at one stage. But,
This dates back to,
it's going back to 1800 anyway. It's in the 1860s. The father and mother were there. This was part of a big estate at one time.
but this was the original homestead house.
Yeah, it was. The big estate was up there, up near the castle. Dunsandel Estate on the map. Lis na Drisha. Lis is a fort, and Drisha is Briars. So you could call it Briar Fort. You see, that was a herd's house. Even my father was herding for a while, but his grandfather before him was herding. This is the front of it now here. That was the entrance. There was a window. This was a window here now, but they made a doorway out of it later on, because they used to have livestock in there. And there was in his time too. There was an upstairs in it as well.
So they had a loft and they had an area where the livestock could be and the herder could live in the house too?
No, there were the livestock on it, and then the livestock wasn't there when they were living there.
No, that was
No.
after.
That was later after. But there was a stairs going up there, and there was a room there, and I think there was a room the other side as well in this time. So you had a window each side on the gable.
How much acreage do you think is here?
About 100 acres. Around 100. You see, there was a window here as well. And you see the lovely stone chimney. You see, it's all stone in this time. The half stones that was there. Now we have in our own house in the sitting room. You see the cornerstone there. You see the way it was done, put out.
We gotta go now.
Here we go. We've got lots to see.
But they said there was a pot of gold. But I drove there, but I could never see it. This pot of gold that was supposed to be in it. I couldn't find it.
There's more adventure to come, so stay tuned and I'll introduce you to a little lady right here in America that can show you a very special way of using that sheep's wool. I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Spellman of Attleboro, who has made a lifetime of knitting Irish knit sweaters, and they are lovely. Thank you for letting me come into your home.
It's my pleasure.
You live right here in Attleboro. These
Yes.
sweaters, which originated in Ireland, have a history and have come to our little hometown. The history of the Irish sweater began at the Aran Islands, 3 islands at the mouth of Galway Bay. Those who lived there made their living from farming and fishing. Outdoor work created a need for warm, protective, and practical clothing from the harsh Atlantic environment. The sweaters were originally made with unwashed wool that still contained natural sheep lanolin, making it water repellent. The story goes that the patterns were used to help identify bodies of fishermen washed up on the beach following an accident at sea. The sweaters were and remain a reflection of the lives of the knitters and their families. These individual clan patterns have been recorded and registered with the Aran Sweater Museum. You are of Irish descent.
Oh, definitely.
I'm tagging you with a show that we actually filmed in Ireland on a sheep farm. So you're in
Yeah.
good company, ma'am.
Thank you. My parents were born here in Massachusetts, but my grandparents came from there.
You know what part?
I think it was Galway. I think the Spellman lumber yard is still over there.
And your maiden name is Walsh?
I'm Welch. My grandmother came from there, but my father-in-law was born there.
What was your husband's name
His name
again?
was John Edward Spellman. Oh, he loved to be called Jack.
He loved to be called Jack, and he was from the area.
Let me tell you, too, my husband, he was an Irish tenor.
Really?
And he had a trained voice. He took lessons. But he even sang at one of the Celtics games at the Boston Garden.
That's
He
incredible.
even sang the national anthem for the opening game.
You have a celebration of life for your husband at
Yeah.
St. John's every year. What
Yes.
happens at that mass?
They all have to wear their Irish knit sweaters. So they come in, and it really is wonderful. And
It's awesome.
yes, and then we all go to one of the children's houses or grandchildren's houses for brunch after the Mass. But we do it every single year. I have made them for a raffle at the church, Christmas raffle.
St. John's.
Yes.
They just started a knitting guild. Did you know that? I went to Mass last Sunday and they had in the bulletin that they were doing a knitting guild.
Oh yes, I read that.
Yeah. Is that
Yes.
something new?
That's something brand new. They're just going to start.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised after this airs if you get a phone call from someone.
I'm very active in my church.
I bet you are.
Yes.
I bet you are. There's no doubt in my mind. How
So-
many children do you have?
I have 6 children.
6, and how many grandchildren?
I have 18 grandchildren.
18. So let me do the math here. How many sweaters have you done to date?
About 55.
Oh my God. So you had a full-time job. Did you ever work out of the house?
I worked from 11 to 7 at the Sedrity Hospital in delivery.
Wow. You were a busy lady. Because I can't fathom having 6 children and working out of the house. And incidentally, speaking of children, the way I happened to find you, I've been very good friends with your daughter, Kate Jackson. We ran into each other right after my trip. Actually, I think it might have been before the trip, but we had this conversation afterwards. I was so excited about the sheep farm. And she said, "My mother makes Irish knit sweaters. You have to meet her." So here we be.
That's Kate's.
Oh, this is Kate's.
Yeah.
Can I ask you how old you are?
I'm 84 and a half.
Oh my God.
I'm looking forward to 90.
I think you're going to make 150. You're amazing.
I enjoy doing this so much.
How long have you exactly been doing this?
I guess 25, 30 years. I don't know. I always knitted, but when I went to Irish Knits, I'm not sure of when I did it.
I'm sure you do know this. All of these sweaters actually mean something. Historically, each family had their own particular pattern, a unique combination of stitches which was closely guarded and passed down from mother to daughter. A finished sweater contains approximately 100,000 carefully constructed stitches and can take the knitter up to 60 days to complete. It can contain any combination of stitches depending on the particular clan pattern being followed. Each stitch carries its own unique meaning. Some stitch patterns have a traditional interpretation, often of religious significance. The cable stitch is a depiction of the fisherman's ropes and represents a wish for a fruitful day at sea. The honeycomb is a symbol of the hard-working bee. The diamond is a wish of success, wealth, and treasure. The basket stitch represents the fisherman's basket and hope for a plentiful catch.
These are little lumps of sugar,
Lumps of sugar.
sweetness. These are the chains of the ropes that the fishermen use. What I'm knitting right now is a mixture of families
Intertwined.
into one another.
Is this indicative of your family history?
Yes, this snake road
That's incredible,
indicates
intricate
the
stitches.
mixture of families in marriages.
So that really is a mixture of your
Yes,
clan.
that's the clan.
Okay. Are all of these made the same way, or do you switch around the patterns occasionally?
I have 5 different patterns I mix from. This being one of them,
Okay.
and this being another.
Do you individualize? I know that all of the stitches have certain indications of what they mean. They
Yeah.
represent something. Do you individualize that to the person rather than as of a clan that's registered?
Yes.
That's what I thought I heard. So the sweater that you knitted, that's your Irish knit sweater, is that the only one that you've knitted for yourself? Have you stayed with that one, or have you changed your pattern? When you wear it with your family.
It's my original.
Your original.
My original, yes.
And when did you knit that?
Oh my golly. Oh, I have no idea. I can't remember.
A good many years ago.
Oh, good many years ago. My husband and I had them. And,
Were yours matched?
No,
No,
no.
no.
I don't like to match them. Like, now I'm making this one. This is going to be for my grandson. To be. He's marrying my granddaughter. So I don't want theirs to be
Identical.
Yeah, I try to keep them separate.
Your own identity.
Yes,
That's a good thing.
and
Always keep your own identity. Let me see that piece that you're working on now. We have that over here.
I have it right here.
Oh, it's lovely. How long does it generally take you to knit one of these sweaters? Depending on if you stop in
It's
between.
the time. Like last weekend was a dull weekend, so I was able to get some knitting done, and so I really progressed very rapidly with this. Now this represents, today is what, Thursday.
That's correct.
So this is 4 days of work. That's very good progress.
You've done this much with all of these patterns in 4 days.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And this is handwork now. We're not talking a machine. We're talking a machine.
Yeah.
Best machine ever invented, right?
Yes. And I enjoy doing it.
You would have to, actually. And you don't get really tired of doing it because there's always a change.
There's a change, yes. So that's why I go from one pattern to another. I have a book here that I've been working out of. It's completely torn apart. I've had to go to a second book. And now
Those are
that-
the best books because you know that they've been loved.
And
Just like the Velveteen Rabbit.
this one here is now just about had it too, and the pages have fallen apart. I've made every pattern in this book.
And just interpreting a pattern, if you're a knitter and you know what I'm talking about, you have to read it and reread it.
You have to really do it as you're
Yes,
going
you
along.
do.
Like for instance, now take this one I'm doing right now. Now there go some stitches off.
Ruh-roh.
Let's not lose those things.
I'm
because
outta
they're
here.
awful. This is very tricky because every row is different. Twisting these stitches here around to make that pattern, so you can't just memorize it. You have to have the book there to tell you what to do on the next row.
I am a knitter and I know how detailed that is.
And
you have to
these-
concentrate.
These little lumps of sugar, as I call them, they're made from the wrong side. So if you and
Let's reverse the pattern while
Yeah.
we're at it.
so these are tricky to make. The pattern consists of so many rows of stitches, and at the end of them I put a pin so I can count how many rows I'm going from there, and I don't have to count all of them up.
You do the whole family. What happens to the sweater when they grow out of it?
They can't have them until they get to high school because there's
Oh,
too much
there's another
work.
rule here.
There's a rule. You
Yeah.
can't have it till high school. I just had a daughter married out in California. I make one for the spouse. She said, now he gets his Irish nip, doesn't he, Nana? And I said, yep. And it was presented to him on his wedding day.
If you are fortunate enough to be of the clan or to be coerced into having a sweater knitted for you, you will know it's authentic by this little tag. What's the care after? How do you wash them? How do you
Do
care
not
for them?
wash the sweaters. One of my daughters had to have a second one made for her because her husband put it in the washing machine, and then they gave it to the infant child. We do not wash them. We
Dry clean.
dry clean them. Yes.
Another rule, big no-no.
Big no-no. Don't put it in the laundry. I won't make them unless I make them out of wool, an Irish wool, because it's so much work goes into them, and love also.
That's right.
And I love being flattered.
Work is the love made visible. And I think
love
you've
doing
done that.
it. But the reward in their face when I give them one it's unbelievable.
I spin wool. When I get into a hobby myself, as you get so involved in it, you want to know everything there is to know about
Yeah.
it. The original sweaters were actually knitted from raw wool. That's
Yes.
wool that still is in the grease, as they say. They would spin wool in front of the fireplace because it would activate the lanolin, which in turn would make the spinning wheel turn more freely. And at the same token, the farmer wife or fisherman's wife would end up having a little hand treatment of her own. It would act as a cream for their hands that were rough and battered from all of the hard work that they had to do. So in helping their husbands keep warm, they were taking care of themselves. We must do that. I would like the privilege of a personal lesson, how you do this.
I'm doing the back row, which is nothing but knitting,
Yep.
straight knitting.
Yep, and a pearl is
You
a
do.
backwards.
Curls backwards. To do these twistings of the snakes there, you have to put all these stitches over on to another needle and hold them in back. And then you knit 2 stitches from here. And then you put 2
Back
on here that you're going to purl.
Mhm.
I just knitted those 2. Now I'll
Think this is easy, huh?
and I take those. Now I purl these 2.
So you've just made a twist or a cable.
Yeah. All right. Now I go back to the holding needle, or the cable needle we call it, and finish off the other 2 stitches that are there.
And now they're all back on the original needle.
Now, that's what's made this twist in here.
Incredible. That really takes a lot of focus.
Yeah. Let me show you something.
Okay.
Now, I got here. They bring me a picture of something they like. Now, here's a little card. This was for my great-grandson
Okay.
for his party.
The little engine that could.
And so
I think I can.
my granddaughter
No, I
said to me,
can't.
Nano, can you make him a sweater and put that on the front of it? So we did.
I thought I was good because I could do it on a cake.
We did this. We drew up the picture. My daughter drew up the picture for me. I'm
Now
not an
you have
artist.
to tell me your daughter's name.
My daughter Bets.
Betsy
Betsy.
did this.
Betsy does my drawing for me. So she drew this picture of the locomotive, and we put this on the front of a sweater. So I don't just knit Irish knit sweaters.
You're an artist. You're a craftswoman. I can't thank you enough for letting me come in and share this time with you. We're going to end this segment to the sweet tenor sound of Mr. Spellman's voice as we go back to my garden. See you in a minute. And I'll see you back at Emily's garden in just a minute. We part until we meet again. See you next time here in Emily's garden.
I did catch a leprechaun at one time when I was very little.
And how'd you do that?
Hit him with a stick, and I stunned him. And when I caught him, then I grabbed him. No, I said, I'm not letting you go until I get your pot of gold.
Now look here. There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
He said, I'll give you a pot of gold.
If you let me go.
And he said, fair enough. What I'll do, he said, is I'll put a flag out in that field where the pot of gold is
buried.
yes. Well, I went away to get a spade, and when I come back to dig the pot of gold, the little bugger hadn't he 300 flags all round the field, and I couldn't get my pot of gold. Eh? That's what happened.
And he was gone.
And
And he was gone.
And would that be now an Irish leprechaun?
That's an Irish leprechaun, is right. Yeah. Hang him on the front door. I was what you call it, one year I had another lad over in the church, and I put him up in the pillar of the church, and
He was
spoke
gone.
about St. Patrick and the leprechaun, and I told the parishioners, anybody now, if they want a bit of luck, they come up and touch his right knee. And they all came up after Mass, and some of them weren't satisfied. They touched the left knee and the right knee. Know what I said? Out. One lady came up, one fella came up, and he touched the right knee, and the following week he won a brand new car.
Can I touch his knee?
Irish eyes are smiling.
They belong to me.
Ah, they do.
I'm Irish and I'm lovable. And do I love you? Yes, I do. It's true to repeat. I'm wholesome and sweet. I'm Irish and beautiful too. Ta-ta.